We're going to take a look at a utility called Airpwn. It's actually spelled Airpwn. We call it Airpwn. So first of all, I need to set up a couple of files, and I've actually done that already. Let me just show you what I've got here. So I've got a configuration file that Airpwn is actually going to use. What I'm doing here is I am setting up a way for Airpwn to actually match things that it is finding over the wire. And this little caret here indicates the beginning of the line. So what I'm looking for in this regular expression is anything that starts at the beginning of the line and has either get, and that's this pipe character here, or post. So beginning of the line, get or post. However, I am going to ignore anything that is actually looking for an image. And then if I see any of these, I'm actually going to spit back a little HTML file that I have here. And let's just take a look at that. So very simple. I've got my HTTP headers, and then I've got the HTML content up above. Now, there are some things that we need to do ahead of time. The first is that we need a device that is actually going to be in monitor mode. I need to be able to capture all of the frames that are going over the wire. So I need my device in monitor mode. I have actually done that already with Airpwn. We have turned on Airpwn, so we've got a monitor mode device. We're going to run Airpwn now that I've got my monitor mode here. I'm going to say Airpwn, and I'm going to feed it my configuration file, and that's going to be test.conf. Then I need to give it a driver. Let me just show you the help file. Now you can see down here the drivers that are supported. Not all of them are. The drivers that are supported are one of these. So if you've got a Prism, you've got a Mad Wi-Fi, you've got one of these other devices, you can actually run this. So let's say Airpwn -c, and my config file is test.conf. My driver, in this case, I'm going to be using wlan-ng. And then my interface is the Mon0 that we were talking about. And then I want to do a couple of verbose, and then I actually want to do some logs. So now you can see that it actually read the configuration file in. It opened up the command socket, the monitor socket, the injection socket, and then we are listening for packets at the moment. And once we actually get one of those things, and I've got a device here that's actually got a lot of network interfaces. And so now we've got Airpwn set up, and if you are running on a clear text channel, in other words, open authentication, open encryption, in other words, no encryption, then your Airpwn is actually going to be able to listen to all of those frames and then respond accordingly. If you are using encryption, of course, you're going to not be able to use this simply because it's encrypted, and the encryption is between the access point and the sending client. So unless you have broken the key somehow, like if you've got WEP, for example, and you've broken WEP, then you don't have a good way of actually listening to those packets. And you can see, actually, we've got the WEP key here. So if you've managed to break WEP and you've got the WEP key, then you can feed the WEP key in. And then you can do some hijacking, actually, with Airpwn by specifying if you see a particular type of request go over the wire, you can actually inject your frames back in so that the client actually sees what you want them to see and not what they think they're going to see. And that's really the point of Airpwn.